How was the retreat for you?
The retreat has been amazing.
I loved it. I loved meeting all the people and just such a warm and welcoming group that Heather brings together, and I think that's what makes it so special, like right when we get together on the first night. I also love like the different experiences and trying new things that I would never do back home, and so just the openness to being able to try that in a safe space with people who are non-judgmental is just, you can't find that everywhere.
Truly life-changing, transformative. I feel like those are phrases that we throw around, but I've done a lot of self-development and personal development and professional development, and this has been far and away one of the most meaningful things that I've ever done for myself.
The retreat was amazing. There was a lot of stuff that I came here, I think, expecting that didn't turn out the way that I expected. I had a lot of, I think, what I would have previously described as personal disappointments that turned out to be powerful revelations, and a lot of really wonderful support that I'm learning how to let myself receive, and some really just cool experiences.
The retreat overall is really life-altering. That sounds a little dramatic, and maybe you just had to be here to understand, but the retreat was dramatic in that it really gave me a window into what was really blocking my soul and blocking the passion for life. And I feel like I really had been in a little bit of a rut, and this has just really helped me to emerge and to elevate from where I was.
It was fantastic. As I wrote in my journal this morning, which I normally don't journal, there are really no words to describe the retreat, because the depth that it took me to, the things that I was able to explore and experience are beyond any of the expectations that I had coming here. And I just simply know it was where I needed to be, and I was supported and held and valued, and I know my path is opening up forward, but I can't describe it in any other words. It's really, I can't.
The retreat was amazing. It's life-changing. Honestly, I'd stay here forever if I could.
What's special about Miraval?
Peace.
Really don't have the words, just something magical here at Miraval, but most of all and most importantly to me has been the space that I've been able to create for myself to allow thoughts and really just address some things that I've been trying not to.
I think the space and the fine details that they've thought about, like where it's anywhere on the property you can hear water, and I love that, and that you can go to these spaces on the property that are just calming, no phone, just encouraging you to connect with yourself and to be with yourself, and that what it feels like again to do nothing, to not be thinking about cleaning the house or laundry or what I have to do next or what am I going to do tomorrow or what do I need to prepare, what am I behind on, the to-do list, the calendar, all of the things, that you can just be here and spend the day how you want to without any pressure from really the outside world, and just gives you a moment to go inward with their different experiences and then the ones that Heather took us through together.
Oh my God, this place is so mystically powerful in a way that is almost indescribable. You feel something the minute you hit this ground. I don't know for what reason, or I'm certain that there is something about its actual location on the planet. I'm certain that there is something about the indigenous roots of this land. I'm certain that there is something about the intention of the people who are here. But I feel relief. I feel safety. I feel when I come here, there is something that is going to be uncovered in me, discovered in me, And it is just a calming and stabilizing, grounding place.
What's special about Miraval, I think, is that you can, in your free time during Heather's retreat, you could go do fitness classes, you could take meditation classes, you could also just walk around the beautiful property, and those are all perfectly fine approaches. It's a really lovely place where you don't have to worry about anything once you arrive, which is great. And the staff, the teachers, everyone is really focused on helping you do whatever it is you need to do to leave here more rejuvenated and more in touch with yourself than when you arrived.
Miraval is magical. The nature, the people. I love the digital free policy because it really did help me to detox from my phone. Haven't done that since I started carrying an iPhone, and so it was really, really cool to have an opportunity to just connect eye to eye, soul to soul with the people who are here, and I've just learned so much from each and every individual that I've had an opportunity to be with.
So Miraval is special because there's so much intentionality with everything, right? There's intentionality in the layout, there's intentionality with the programs, there's intentionality with the offerings, there's intentionality with our food. And so much intentionality goes into providing a space of wellness, a space of restoration. But I think that my experience here at Miraval was special not just because of Miraval, but also because of you, Justin, and because of Heather, and because of our group. It made the difference. I'm sure I would have had a great time here by myself, but it was even more special to be here with everyone.
What's special about Heather?
Kentucky Red. Kentucky Red is, this woman is doing what she is born to do, and not even all of it yet. Like, she has this heart that is so open and so loving, but also this fire that is both warming and also fierce and protective. Heather is just the place I come back to, the person I come back to when I feel not quite myself, a little lost, and just not quite sure what to do next. She's the person I start coming back to look to go what to do next. She's always going to send me in a place that I would never go myself.
What is special about Heather? I don't know that there's anything that's not special about Heather. I've known Heather since we were baby lawyers together and co-counsel on a case. And just her approach to helping each woman in the room get what they need out of this experience is just incredible and really impressive. And just her care and the attention that she puts into every single detail of this experience. It's not like you signed up for something and then you just show up, right? There's a whole process to get you in the right mindset for this experience, and just a really thoughtfully, beautifully designed retreat experience.
I think her ability to bring like-minded, amazing women that I would not otherwise have met. Not only am I from Canada with other Americans, but it's like that doesn't even matter. Like, that just, it doesn't matter where I'm from. It doesn't matter like about that. It's just we get to be together and we find connection. And I love that. And the people that she brings, not only from a like humanness, like a heart-centered place, but also like from a, like, they're smart, driven women who are looking to, you know, do the best that we can and better the world that we live in. And I just love that. And I also love her ability to bring in new experiences, her intuition, a little bit of spiritual, and also like that business strategy that she's so good at.
Heather is joy, and Heather knows how to bring people together so that there is a synergy and just an electric energy in the room. We all learn from each other. We learn from ourselves. Heather is a fabulous resource and a wonderful, wonderful facilitator. for bringing people together and helping people grow.
Heather is amazing. I mean, I started working with Heather more in a very business context, but everything else she's done and has evolved to really addresses the bigger issues of mindset and really helps put you on a path.
Heather's spirit is the most gracious spirit in any human being that I've known. Her ability to just take a hold of you and comfort you and guide you in ways that are not expected. I sometimes think she's gifted with some type of blessing or spirit because she taps into places that you're not necessarily willing to go, but she makes it easy. And you just know that you're surrounded by love and safety, and I always say she's magical.
What's special about the group?
This group of women is one of the most powerful groups of women I've ever been around. I knew when I accepted the invitation to come here to Miraval for this retreat that I was going to be around women that I respected and loved, even though I hadn't even met all of them, just because that's one of Heather's gifts of bringing those types of people together. But we have all learned from each other by being vulnerable, by being honest, by taking a really good look at really what our challenges are and what brings us here to this moment. And when we each share about what brings us here to this moment, it's a very empowering position. We learn from each other, and we also learn from ourselves. And the environment is just a really safe place for us to be able to be honest and to get to know one another. And in getting to know the other women, I feel like I know myself better.
This group is so connected and tethered in ways that we would have never expected to be tethered. There were some folks that I knew before coming in, and I knew them well, and I knew they had me no matter what when I saw them here. But everybody's gratitude, love, support, willingness to go on the journey with you, they were just hand in hand with me. And I think they'll always be hand in hand with me, and that's what's special.
The group has been amazing. I've learned something from everyone. Everyone comes with an open mind and is really willing to not only help you, but also just is on the journey with you as we all try to find our right path.
You know, this group is really interesting because I knew some of the people, a couple of the people, but again, this is sort of the magic. I think that Heather finds a way to bring together just the right people at just the right time who meet each other's needs. So these women, again, we all have our own things that we're trying to figure out and trying to address, but they complement each other. And so we end up supporting one another without even, having any idea who each other are really. But in these sessions and in these rooms, we come to realize that we really do know each other. And we end up being able to help each other resolve things. And it's so amazing to be able to do that when, technically you're strangers.
I think the way to think about or to talk about this incredible group of women is that everybody who came to this experience, it was nobody's first rodeo. Nobody was just thinking like, oh, I'll just go to this retreat and all of my problems will be fixed, or I'll come out a totally different person. Nobody in this room, people often say, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. And I think that definitely applies to the group of women that Heather assembled for this retreat, where every single person was supportive, every single person had done the work on themselves in advance to come really ready to get the most out of this. And every single person in this group really wants to see each other succeed. There's no competition. There's none of that nonsense. Everybody came to this really open and wanting to help others at the same time they want to improve their own and develop themselves.
Did you have any reservations or concerns about coming, and how do you feel now?
Absolutely. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know if all the magic that Heather had promoted about Miraval was true. But having come here now, I know every reservation I had was completely false.
I didn't, just because I know Heather and I've worked with her before. So I didn't have any reservations. I think my concerns were just what's going to come up. Like, what is Heather going to show me that I'm gonna have to deal with, because Heather always ends up showing me something that I end up having to deal with, and not like in a bad way, but in a way that if you really want the thing you say you want, you have to walk your way through this. And that's not, it's not even not always, it's never comfortable, and it's not easy. It's always rewarding. It's always what you need. But I don't like doing things that I don't know I can do perfectly, and I don't like doing things that are uncomfortable and new and weird, and that is all that Heather does.
Yeah, I didn't know like what to expect, obviously, and I think as lawyers we like to know like what to expect, who's going to be there. There wasn't like a guide as to like this is the agenda and this is what we're doing when. So those were like some of the things where my brain again was trying to like come up with things and like fill in the gaps, but it was like also trying to just embrace and let myself feel that discomfort around not having that plan and the schedule and the little bio description to read about what we're going to be doing and when. And it was uncomfortable, but also just kind of lets you sit back and be taken care of, which is what Heather does throughout the time together.
I absolutely had reservations and concerns before coming. This isn't something that you just jump into as a knee-jerk reaction, right? This is a big investment of your time. It is not an inexpensive experience. I also think, though, that you get out what you put in. And with the work that I do, I know from experience that if something is not a stretch, then people will not go all in. And if something is not a stretch, they will not necessarily put the time and effort into coming in with the right mindset. And frankly, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, no one else ever will be either. So as much as I did have reservations, I'm so glad I set them aside.
I always have some anxiety when I'm coming to a new place or when I'm coming to be with people whom I don't already know. Have social anxiety from way young, so that's just one of my things. But the minute that I got here to Miraval, the welcoming environment that we had here from the staff and from just this place put me at ease. And from the very first minute of our sessions, it was just about ease. And I felt like there really was no reason for me to have all that anxiety that I had on the way out here. And so today I feel great. I feel much more confident. And I know that I've got at least 8 people in this world who've got my back, who know me better now, and just have some really good friends.
I wasn't going to get on the plane. Because of the loss in my life recently, I wasn't going to get on the plane because I felt like just staying under the covers or curled up on the couch. And I was a little bit afraid of what this would open up for me and where it would take me. But I am so glad Heather reached out and said that I could show up however I could show up, and that the group and her would have me, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the first part was, oh my God, I'm busy. And then the second part was like, oh shit, this is expensive. And then the third part was I had a back-to-back. I was just in San Antonio for something different, and I actually had to cut that stay short in order to make this happen. But I knew, as with so many things, where maybe I feel cramped or I have reservations, I knew that once I started, that the rest would flow. Similar to the challenge course that we did yesterday. I didn't want to do it, but I also knew that, okay, once you start, it'll be fine.
If someone was thinking about coming but was worried about money or something else, what would you tell them?
I would say don't wait. You never know when these experiences are not going to be available anymore. I know for me, in 2020, I had said to or I guess it would have been 2019, I said to myself, I'm like, when Heather has her mastermind in 2020, I'm gonna sign up for it. And then what ended up happening was COVID happened and the pandemic, and then Heather had her own health challenges, and those basically kind of went away for the next 3 or 4 years. And that's been a similar thing for other things that I've invested in, or even just a class I've wanted to try where they don't exist anymore. They kind of, they go and they're not here forever, and so you can keep waiting, but it might not be there when you think you're like ready, quote ready. I don't think there's a time when you're quote ready. I think you just gotta do things like this.
But it has always been worth it to make that investment in me, because no one can take that away from me. So if you have doubts about those two things, if those are the things that are keeping you from taking that leap and taking that chance, don't let that be the thing. You can figure those things out, but it's more than worth it. It's more than worth it.
If you are on the fence considering whether you want to invest in yourself, whether this opportunity is the right thing for you to do, I encourage you to imagine what your 80-year-old self would be saying to you about this missed opportunity. Because as one of the things that we've learned these last few days, it's how important it is to just grab the opportunities that you have in front of you. And you don't have another chance at this life. And so I encourage you to go all in and try this out. And I'm also happy to talk one-on-one with people who are considering this retreat and may have reservations.
Just do it. The only regret I have is not jumping on it immediately. It took some poking and prodding, and honestly, I should have booked the minute I had a inkling to come.
Don't worry, just say yes.
Who do you think is best suited for this retreat?
This retreat is for anyone who wants more. This retreat, and when I say more, sometimes people think money. More is just more joy, more peace, more clarity. I think this retreat is a good space to unlock some of the things that are holding us back, that we don't even realize are holding us back, and even bring awareness to things that narratives we may have that are driving our behavior that we're not aware of. This retreat is for everyone.
This retreat is best suited for someone who's ready to do the work and really dig deep into finding themselves and really determining what their journey should look like.
Anyone who wants to grow, who wants to explore and find out how you could relish life while you're here in every moment.
Anyone who has come through challenges in your life, as we all do, who has the ability to self-reflect, who has the desire to share and bring people around you who can support you and love you through whatever it is that you're going through. If you're willing to do the introspective work, and if you're willing to say, I'm ready to take a step forward, this is for you.
I think anyone who's going through some form of transformation, or whether you've had a loss, whether you're looking for a change, whether you're wanting to try new things, whether you're wanting to connect with other like-minded people, I think those are just a few of the things that you'll experience here, and some of the things that will draw those kind of people in.
The people who are best suited for this retreat, I think, are really people who have already started to do the work and have done some amount of personal development before, and people who are ready to kind of suspend disbelief, willing to get outside their comfort zone, and people who want to be supportive and surrounded by awesome women.
And before we end, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thank you, Heather, for all that you do. I mean, this is incredible. The fact that you can bring together such amazing, powerful, and spirited women is just unlike anything I've ever seen.
Just that I am so absolutely grateful that Heather had this space for me, that her entire team and this entire group just held me, supported me, and pushed me and cheered me on.
Oh my gosh. I think one of the things that I was reminded of during this retreat is how important it is to get away from your daily life. I've been thinking about it as going to the balcony, where you can kind of look down on how things are going and get out of your day-to-day, and especially being in this magical place and being surrounded by awesome women who are also working through some of the same things that you are. It is so incredibly valuable.
I'm just so incredibly grateful for the invitation to be here. I'm grateful for Heather's drive and her passion to help other people. I'm just incredibly grateful.
Love yourself enough to invest in yourself, to leave behind the things that no longer serve you, and love yourself enough to reach for the things that you desire, to connect to your own authenticity. You are deserving. You're worthy of love, of connection, of belonging, of power, of leveraging that power and using that voice that you have. So that's what I would say. Love yourself enough